7th, 2022 meeting of Glens Falls Planning Board. Before we get started, I will make an announcement. Some of you know, some of you don't know. Don't all erupt in applause, please. But this is my last meeting. I have tendered my resignation to the mayor, effective the end of this month. Reason being, I've been here probably far too long. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's not that I don't still want to be here, but I think I've been here long enough. I've been the chairman for 22 years. I've been on the planning board for 25. So, as I said, I just think it's time to move on, give someone else a shot. Before people start looking at me and going, that guy. He's ancient. He's been here 40, 50 years. But anyway, I just want to let you all know.
Add into that, I think the way the planning board performs now, its organization and system of working is terrific, and you're a big factor in making that happen.
Well, I appreciate that. It was
I second that.
Can we break out laughter now?
yeah.
No.
Hey, you guys do good. But seriously, it's been a lot of fun. It has had its moments. I won't deny that.
I can remember a few meetings.
A few meetings where we're standing room only.
Yeah.
Well, without interrupting, I am interrupting. On behalf of Mayor Collins, he wanted me to put on the record that he extends his sincere thank you. And he says it's been a privilege having you as the chairman of the planning board. And on behalf of the city, thank you very much for all of your dedication and years of service.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to plaque with it.
Okay. Without further ado, first item is the approval of the minutes of the May 3rd, 2022 planning board meeting.
No comment.
No comment.
No comments.
Okay, I'll make a motion that the minutes of the May 3rd, 2022 planning board meeting be approved as submitted.
Second.
Second, Mr. Paul. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
The first item on our new business is Curran Lane LLC, owner of tax map, section 303.17, block 13, lot 8, commonly known as 18 to 26 Curran Lane, is seeking approval to paint a 4-foot high by 130-foot long mural at the bottom of the south side of the building. Pursuant to city zoning chapter 180, 180-6A, this application requires sign board review and approval. Is there anyone here representing the application? If so, would you please just step up to the microphone and state your name and relationship to the application? Well, I think we all have it.
Eric Uncuff, sole member, Curran Lane LLC.
Thank you. Before we begin our review, is there anything you care to say, add, discuss?
No, I think it's fairly straightforward. It's a brick building built on a concrete foundation, so we're talking about putting the mural strictly on the concrete foundation wall, which is about 4 foot high. And the sketch that you have is just kind of typical. It's going to be butterflies and flowers and plants and, you know. So it's going to be like a year-round butterfly garden. So in the middle of winter, there'll still be butterflies.
Appreciate that. I had no comments from either the fire department or the city engineer, so we'll move right along with our opportunities.
I have no concerns, but believe that the board's approval, if any, be conditioned on maintaining the mural.
Very good. Appreciate that. We'll start with Mr. Ricardi.
No comments. This is thing is perfect.
Good. Ms. Murray.
I agree, I really like it. It's
Mr. Hall.
I think it's gonna look great.
Ms. Hall.
I can't wait to see when it's done. Yeah, it's good work.
Okay. I agree with all.
Okay, thank you.
So, we need a motion.
This is just signing board.
Yes.
Planning board acting
Yes.
as designated sign review.
Right. So I would make a motion that the Glens Falls Planning Board, acting as the designated sign review board, hereby grant approval for the project identified as Curran Lane LLC, owner of 18 to 26 Curran Lane, based on the meeting of 7 June 2022.
Second.
With the condition that Mr. Brown stated, just for the record, that,
That it be maintained by the owner.
that's her.
Yeah.
Okay, a second.
Second.
Ms. Sullivan, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
Okay, now just a quick question while I'm up here. So when I put in for this application, I put in another application because Esmond on the 153 Maple Street project has plans to, there's a couple of boarded out windows on the first floor of the building on that same wall. So he has a couple of panels that he's proposing to install in those window cavities that's going to make it look like, you know, it's a false scene. It's a, looks like a window, one looks like a door and one looks like a window. So I put that in as well, but that didn't make it onto the agenda. So do I need to talk to Chris and have that resubmitted or what?
Well, a couple things. Chris is no longer with the city.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
No, he doesn't. But I thought we had reviewed that.
Well, we looked at the one.
You looked at the one that was the Rembrandt. So now the one.
Talking about the info for the window.
No, so, well, I had submitted that application at the same time I submitted this application, all right? So when I got the letter in the mail and it said it was just only the one on there, I was like, okay, well, I'll talk to them when I get to the meeting.
Mr. Pleasure.
I mean, I don't, this is the second one of these that Eric has been here for. I think we know your track record on
Right.
what you're doing over there. I don't
Right,
think-
and I, you know, someone should have, I mean, I can certainly get copy, you know, basically the gist of it is the one is gonna be a doorway that's open and Rembrandt's kind of gonna be looking out over the,
Like I said,
to see what's happening there, and the other picture is just kind of a picture of the studio.
So it's just an alteration of the image, not a...
It's, the image that you approved last time is the same as the image, that hasn't changed. What's happening is there were two boarded out windows on the first floor.
Yeah.
And so those boarded out windows are gonna have panels that are inset to make it look like,
An actual-
one's gonna look like a window, one's gonna look like a door, and one's gonna kind of have his, kind of like poking his head out, looking around the corner, seeing what's happening. You know, that the mural's being painted on the wall. See what I'm saying? So
It's
it's,
different than
Part of the mural.
so this first,
This is what was approved.
yep, and that's not changing. What's happening here is these first two windows here are boarded up right now. So he's proposing that, you know, two inset panels go in here. This inset panel, he would make it, because these windows are big. These are like 4 foot wide by 8 foot tall. So it's like the size of a sheet of plywood, basically. So the one panel is gonna be, you know, it's gonna make it look like a door. You know, he proposes to paint a couple of stairs here, to make it look like it's a stoop, you know, coming down. And he's gonna be looking out over at what's happening here, and the other is just gonna kind of be a window with a cat and some artwork in the background.
It is, the image is changing.
Well, this image is not changing.
That-
This image is not changing. It's kind of an addition.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I
this
know.
image, nothing's happening with this.
Okay.
This is the same as what was approved. So
I
that's
think
not changing. So how do you, yeah.
I think it's an alteration of the previous one that you had.
Yeah, because
You've been here and discussed.
like I
it
said, I
with us.
put the application in, it just didn't make it to the agenda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if you,
But all I would suggest is just send it in, you don't have to hear.
Right.
Send the mock-up, or whatever you call it.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
so the board members.
yeah. Okay, no problem. I'll do that. Absolutely. All right,
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well,
Right.
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Those two windows, the inserts, the images, will they have a, per se, window frame in front?
No, it's gonna be, they're gonna be, so they're gonna be painted and then we're gonna seal it with like a couple of coats of like matte,
Yeah,
poly all the way around, all sides of it, to seal the moisture out. And then the frame, whatever frame is on there is gonna be painted on there. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna look like a window and it's gonna look like a door, but it's a false,
that's what I wanted
yeah,
to confirm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. It'll be fun.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, moving on, let's full agenda here. The next item is Frank and Rebecca Enderberry, owner of tax map, section 302.16, block 16, lot 9, commonly known as 11 Vanderheim Street, seeking approval for a curb cut to install a driveway at this location. Pursuant to city zoning, chapter 220, section 220-48A, subpart 2, this application requires an advisory opinion by the planning board to the common council. And you are?
I'm Rebecca DeBerry. Sorry, I left my king in the wrong car, so.
So, is there anything you care to discuss or add before we?
It should be pretty, there's pictures, there's descriptions, it's just additional parking, because it's it's 5 bedrooms, so you could theoretically have 5 people with cars. So there really isn't enough, and I share the driveway with the gal next door. So I just thought it would make life easier on everybody, having a little extra spot. And down the road, I'd like to turn it into like ADA approved parking. As we get older, I'm thinking we might need a ramp one day, so.
Very good. Again, comments from the fire department, fire chief, or the city engineer, so move on with our architect consultant, Mr. Brown.
Your diagram indicates the lot is 50 feet wide. Is the property line marked along that side and some angle?
It's actually right along the fence line, because the people on the east, the apartment building, their driveway's right there.
Yeah.
And so it's right on the fence line. And on the other side, the end of the driveway is right, or the edge of the driveway is right on, that's a fence line also. So fence line to fence line
Yeah.
is where it's marked. There's no metal post, like some have the little metal thing in the ground.
Now, you're proposing that the driveway be 8 feet wide. If I use your dimensions, that means the edge of the driveway will be 4 feet from the actual property line. And I was concerned about the width of the driveway being a little too narrow for opening car doors and such, and
Well, I was using that spot all the time when I go clean. When I open the door on the driver's side, from there to the house you would never hit the door. It's quite a ways. And on the other side, it's another whole driveway, and then the space between my driveway and their driveway, you wouldn't hit it, it would never hit anything.
Yeah, well, I was gonna suggest that you might want to widen it to 10 feet to better accommodate the car. And you'd still have a couple of feet left
Okay,
between that and the property line.
okay.
Who knows if they're gonna park a pickup truck there or a Chevy Volt, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. That's a good idea. I mean, if you approve it, I'm fine with that.
Well, I think it would be an improvement for
Okay.
you and the tenants.
Yes.
How many vehicles can you park in the rear?
Well, I have a 2-unit garage, so I have 2 garage doors, and then there's space between the ladies' fence and my garage that you could put another car comfortably, but it's only paved up to the front of the garage. It's all dirt there, and I don't really want people parking on that.
Yeah,
I want them to be on them, so you could safely park, and you can park 4 cars. But I really don't want to have to do that. 3 is, to me, ideal. In the past, they've parked front, on the west side of the garage, 2 cars front and back, which I think that's inconvenient if someone wants to get out in their car.
tight.
Yeah, so you could squeeze 4, but 3 I think is ideal. And so the other lady can also get out. And then with the additional, that would make another.
Do you use the 2-car garage for
Yes.
parking?
I don't let my tenants or my guests use that because, well, the roof and everything's all new, but I had one tenant already damage the brand new garage door, so I'm just not letting them use it. If I had to, I could. If we had an instant where we had 5 cars, or even 4, which the most I've had so far is 3, I could do that. I mean, I did let one gal park in there, but then she damaged the door.
I live just a few blocks from you.
You do?
In one instance, the people took down their garage to improve the parking for their tenants. It made the space more available.
I think I don't want to do that
Yeah,
because I've never owned a garage and it's very helpful to store things.
yeah.
I mean, it's all empty. If you walked in there, it's empty, but it stores stuff for the guests, like a gazebo or grill, the barbecue thing, or the lawnmower and stuff. So I don't want to do that, and plus I just spent so much money on it.
Well, I appreciate that. Once you've got it, what do you replace it with?
Yeah.
The only other thought was on the length of the new driveway. If the vehicle could be parked alongside the house and not protrude into the setback of the house.
You mean in the back of the driveway? The driveway where the garages are?
Yeah, if it were 30 feet long instead of 20 feet, the vehicle could park.
Right now, because that driveway is fairly new, sorry, I'm nervous, I've never done this
Yeah.
before. You can park that way. If you come in and the garage doors are here, you could comfortably park a couple cars that way and still have room to
Oh,
back up.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I roll around it all the time. It's very big.
No, I meant this proposed driveway.
Oh, the new driveway?
Instead of 20 feet, 30 feet would get a space for the car without being in the front setback line of the houses there.
Well, I'm uncomfortable going any further because then I have another issue with snow falling on the driveway, and I have a air conditioner there
Yeah.
and the porch. Because right now the proposed driveway doesn't affect the porch, but if I went up further, then the car door would be close to the porch. Because right now the driveway, here's the porch, the house is over here, so you have all this space.
Yeah.
But once you go past this, you're dealing with a porch and
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I
I'll-
asked about the snow, the roof slope and everything there, so.
yeah, right where it is, I would have no problem with snow. I mean, on my big driveway, both houses. I don't know why they ever built houses like that. Where I come from, they don't do that. I don't know what. Snow blowers, that's what they're for.
That's my thoughts.
Very
All
good,
right.
appreciate that.
So your thought was to maybe widen it to 10 feet?
10 feet, that would give you a little bit more
Okay.
comfort room. And what you
Okay.
would
Like I said, you get bigger vehicles, some of these trucks, pick up.
Yeah, and I think that's a great idea. I will do that.
Okay, so we'll move on to Zanders.
No other comments, good luck.
Okay, thanks.
No comments.
Thanks.
Mr. Hall.
No, I agree with Dan, I went over and looked at it, and I think giving you the 10 feet is gonna make it a little bit nicer for you. Just between it looks like, I know your statement says that it's not gonna damage the sidewalk, but between the sidewalk and the street, that should be concrete as well, just to
Okay.
make sure that, yeah, just the apron.
Yeah, the apron has to.
Okay.
So that's the only other thing that I would mention to you
Okay.
is to do that. That it's gonna protect it a little bit better as well. So outside of that, I think it's good.
Okay.
They do actually make what's called a snow stop that you can put on the roofs. It's like little cleats that hold
Yeah.
the snow from sliding off the roof. So if that becomes a problem with it sliding into your other driveway, you can get those. They're
That's
just
a good
they
idea.
stick up off the roof about that far, and it
You
The
just
word-
see snow, as it starts to slide, catch on that.
it just holds the snow there so
Oh.
that it can melt and
Even on slate roofs you can do that?
yeah, they're actually specifically designed for slate.
All right, well, I'm going to have the slate roof repaired in the near future. I will have that added.
Yeah, just have
Yeah.
them add snow stops.
Yeah.
It's an easy thing to have them put in.
Okay, snow stops, apron, and 10 feet.
Ms. Murray?
No, I have
You
no.
don't want to
Okay.
add to that? Yeah. Mr. Ricardi?
I have trouble with 8 feet to 10 feet, because if you go 10 feet, you might be on the sidewalk, or close to the sidewalk.
If I go, I'm sorry, if I go extra 2 feet toward the west, I would hit the sidewalk. If I go the 2 feet toward the east, it won't affect anything. In fact, it'll probably just almost blend into my neighbor's driveway, which is all gravel kind of, and
Yeah, but you want the grass.
yeah. I don't remember how much that grassy area is, but
2 feet. I was there. I think, if you go to the east,
if I go on both sides,
Right, one of those
if I go a foot each side, that would probably be ideal. I don't know why I'm thinking one side or the other.
Did you actually measure that, the driveway?
I measured, but I don't remember. It was a while ago. I don't know if I wrote, if
It looks
it's,
like more than 10 feet. More
I
than-
don't remember.
More than 8 feet. When I looked at it, it looked like more than 8 feet. So, you don't want to go to the driveway to the neighbors,
Mhm.
but if you can go to 10 feet without encroaching on the porch,
Okay.
they can do it, but I don't think you do it. So,
Well, when I go home, I'm gonna measure.
Yeah, take a look at it, maybe one foot either side, instead of 2 feet here, 2 feet there.
yeah, I don't think we want to go to the neighbor's side.
I don't have a copy of the picture.
Here you go.
Same.
40, there's 50 feet, and the house, the other 10 foot and the 8 foot, there's 4 feet left. But I don't know where the 4 feet is. Is it here?
Well, I just mowed.
It looks as if there's 2 feet on each side.
Well, I can confidently say if I do a foot on each side, I'll have plenty of space for the neighbor and for my sidewalk. I just feel like I can't comfortably say if I do 2 on one or 2 on the other. But I think if I combined it would probably,
Or you can leave it at 8 feet.
Yeah. 10 feet. Whatever you got.
Do I have to come back and let you know what I do? Okay.
I would say no.
Okay.
I would say if we make the recommendation to make it 10 feet as it will fit. I think
Okay.
it's
Not to exceed.
Not to exceed. 10
All right,
feet.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's all.
All right. That being said, this is an advisory opinion. Bear with me. Okay. I'll make a motion that the Glens Falls Planning Board hereby submit the following advisory opinion to the common council. They should look with favor on the application of Frank and Rebecca and the Berry for a curb cut.
Curb cut.
Curb cut at 11 Vanderheide Street.
42 to Baldwin Avenue.
Yes.
They live in it.
Oh,
Yes,
Property.
home address. Hold on, the actual place we're
Yes.
looking at is 42.
I was once homeless and now I own 2 houses. It's thrilling.
Yes.
okay. So what was that again?
42
42
Baldwin
Baldwin.
Avenue.
Thank you. Subject to the following conditions.
Concrete apron.
Not to exceed
Yeah.
10 feet wide by 20 feet long.
Oh, there was 3 things.
Um,
Curb cut. I mean.
Oh, apron,
Apron.
concrete apron, not to exceed 10 feet.
Snow stops aren't part of this resolution.
No.
Oh, okay, but that was the 3rd thing I wanted to remember,
That's not
yes.
right. That's a for your information.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay,
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Well, thank you, this was not painful at all. Thank you for serving our community for 20-plus years. Good luck to you.
Thank you. That's my pleasure, seriously.
Now, that goes to the common council, and
Yeah,
then they're gonna
that's-
reach out to
You know how this works, Rebecca?
Rebecca.
No, you can stay
No,
there.
you're good.
You know how this works? We submit this, we don't grant the curb cut. We send it to the common council. It's a recommendation from us, so usually they're good with that. They will issue your approval from whatever. And that will occur, you don't have to appear there.
You don't have to appear, it should be on next Tuesday's agenda. And then what happens is you'll get your application back with a resolution attached and it's signed by the mayor.
Okay, cool.
Usually.
Thank you.
Okay.
Snow stoppers. Snow stoppers.
Should the resolution include reference to a concrete apron?
Yeah.
We
You
did.
did?
Yes.
Okay, I missed
Good
that.
point. Located premises.
Yeah. Chris did it,
All right. I have nothing else. Does anyone else? Any business?
Thank you for your time and service.
Again.
How will this
my
work
pleasure.
in the coming months?
What's that?
How will this work in the coming months?
We're gonna be a board of 5.
Still-
it's still enough, but do you know, I'm supposed to meet with Bill Friday morning.
Then the mayor will appoint someone to fill the empty spot, and then there will be discussion as to who will be the chairman.
That's decided by this board.
Yes.
Not me. So I like the mayor. Please explain what the board chooses. Right?
That's what the code says.
I thought someone had a person they had in mind.
Well, I had asked Kevin Hall.
Oh, okay,
I
right.
had asked Kevin, he thought about it for a little while, and he said, that ultimately he decided he's got too much going on right now to try to do it. So,
If anybody has people that they would like to suggest.
because we're already a member short.
Yeah. What is the maximum, is there a maximum number? or-
Seven.
Seven. So we're down to.
Yeah. Yeah. When Ron left, we
Right.
talked about that, so.
So anyone who wants to be on the planning board, they submit an application or a letter to Mayor Collins expressing their interest to be put on the board.
A little bit of
Background.
some sort of resume, doesn't have to be formal resume.
Just wait it.
So, someone had experience in
Really feeling
whatever. So, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know who's gonna be the chairman?
I suggested Mr. Hall, but that's up to you.
I'm gonna meet with Bill on Friday and see what his feeling is. I mean, if it pleases the board, I would certainly step forth and take it. At least on an interim basis.
Will the mayor send us out a letter asking us, is that how it's going to do
What's
it?
that?
Will the mayor send us out, send the board out a letter asking us?
I have the code just says
You
that
can
it's
just select them
elected.
out.
So at the next meeting, now that Leanne has officially resigned, I think at your next planning board meeting, the first item on the agenda should be that you vote on who is the next chairman. That should be on the next agenda. Maybe on an interim basis, we say Ethan will, because Ethan has stepped up and chaired in Dan's absence, so. I think that, in my opinion, that's how you should do it. Have Ethan open the meeting, but then the first item on the agenda is voting for your new chair.
I agree. And then we can rest.
Our wrestler brothers.
That's it. We'll shoot for that. Or we'll dice for that.
Yeah.
Yes, and part of the city charter.
Is next month
Somewhere,
the-
is it,
Does that?
somewhere you're lifting the chairman.
Should be.
Actually, the code does say the mayor shall designate one member as chairperson. For failure to do so, the planning board shall elect a chairperson.
Yeah.
That's under 220-46.
Right, that's not, it says.
Charter says something different. Okay.
Imagine that.
Anyway.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, so, anything else? Nope. Any motion, please adjourn.
Aye.
Thank you all.
So I have a complaint.
Go ahead.
You didn't give us proper enough time.
Pretty sure
Like,
that wasn't it?
Yes.
No, in all seriousness, there's a reason. Because I talked to the mayor months ago,
Yes.
Yes.